How do you balance yourself at the moment when you do these 18-hour days, or, like when the markets are up and down and all, like just mentally? Because that's one of the, I mean, I teach meditation and I teach people the mindset, but I would not go in the markets. Like, no, I would lose all my teaching possibilities.
The simplest trick is the only way to deal with this. You cannot completely eliminate the stress. It's always there. And even after 7 years, I never know how the day is going to end. And this dark cloud of pressure is always above your head constantly. But there are a few tricks. Like it's quite funny, but I'm doing a lot of breathing exercises, and those are helping me a lot. And but the biggest thing comes, of course, from the mentality, from the approach. And as I'm teaching my students, there are two types of money. There is the money in your bank account that you can actually go and spend, and then there is money that is in your trading deposit. So that is something that shouldn't even exist in your mind as a resource to buy toys. I had this problem as well in the very beginning when I really was always a fan of Rolls-Royce. And I always saw that amount of money when I reached 100,000. I saw that as a quarter of a Rolls-Royce. Mm-hmm. And if you start losing a little bit of that money, you're not just losing the money, you're moving away from your dream, from that Rolls-Royce, for example, just as a broad example. And that is something that, of course, is adding on to the pressure. So when I'm trading, I don't care about money.
So it's like because you don't attach the meaning to it, right?
Yeah.
You see the numbers.
Yeah, there is no meaning. And of course, I'm still human. So if I'm having a really bad day, I might get really angry. And I've broken many keyboards in my life. And yeah, it's just a normal part of this job. But in general, there are many tricks, and it's a systematic work with yourself. Because trading, it's not just about the charts and candles. It's about understanding your inner self. And trading has taught me so much about myself. It's crazy. Before trading and after trading, I actually know who I am. I know my weaknesses. I know the points when I should just give up on and do other things. So I understand my inner self completely now. So
tell me some more about that. Give me some examples of like situations where I learned this about myself, but only through trading, only because I did trading.
Sure. Well, one of the biggest things, I guess, is when you're trading and you're getting angry, a lot of times when you would tell some person that why you're so angry, and they might actually tell you, I'm not angry. But so it's oftentimes they are not even noticing that they're angry. And for me, I used to trade impulsively. And if I'm getting angry, for example, I'm having many losing trades in a row, and I would start doing some stupid things, but I wouldn't even notice it. So this is the psychological slippage, as I call it. So the anger is just clouding your judgment completely. And being able to control your judgment all the time is a big skill to learn. And this is something that I've realized that if I start losing a little bit of money, my judgment is gone. So, and 5 minutes ago, I was completely cool. But the problem is that at some point, I wasn't even noticing this problem. And this is the thing that, as I think Mark Twain said, that it's not what you know for sure that gets you in trouble. It's the stuff that you don't, what was it? It's not the stuff that you don't know, but it's the stuff that you think that you know for sure that just ain't so. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was the quote. So, and when you think that you're completely cool and you're sitting there with huge eyes, red eyeballs, and you're sweating completely, but you think everything is fine and you actually believe it. Mm-hmm. It's almost like an addiction. And when and this is going through this process and surviving it, actually teaches you to step back and look at yourself from the side. And it's a very small amount of people are able to do that. And it's just one of the things. It sounds a bit like a paradox, but yeah.
No, I think it's amazing because it's like, applying all the methods that people teach in self-help books and, like how to manage yourself, do this, do that, but you like applying that in a high pressure, environment. What are the 3 lowest points in your life? Like probably those were, I'm guessing, the losses, like when you were like throwing away those keyboards.
Those are just situations. I wouldn't call them being the lowest points. When I was thinking about this before, I think that the absolute lowest point was the end of my education with my mentor. As I said before, when I lived in the States, I was doing some buying and selling stuff. So this is where my initial capital for trading came from. With my education and my mentor finally off said that, oh, listen, Thomas, you're about ready to start trading with money. And I made a big mistake of starting with pretty much all the money that I had. I started with $17,000 plus or minus. And it was a big mistake. But and that's where that lowest point came from. I started trading, and even after this education, after this super wealthy and guy spent so much time on me and has been such a great friend to me, and it's just I felt so attached to him. And plus, I grew up without a father, and he did so many things for me within those 6 months than anybody in this life, in this world, and then my real father has ever done for me. And so I had this obligation that I must, make him proud. And I screwed it up completely. I lost almost all money. It's for when I think about these $17,000 right now, it's not that big of a deal for me. But back then, it was
everything.
It was everything, and it wasn't just the money. It was this guy's time and the way that he just basically spent this super valuable time of his on me. And I almost broke down back then. And only actually thanks to him, I was able to pull through, because he was my not just trading mentor, but also like life mentor. And he taught me so many things. It's unbelievable. And that was probably the lowest point, when I was just realizing that I know what I'm supposed to be doing, but I am doing everything in a completely wrong way, just because of a wrong psychology, and simply because I've started with too much money. And that's when I started losing quite a lot in the beginning. The revenge trading is kicking in, meaning that you're just trying to get the money back. It's just like in a casino, and it just goes down and down and down from there. And it was, so I lost 6 months of my time. I lost basically the chance of getting a US passport. I've basically given up on getting my studying for LSAT and going to Ivy League law school. I wasted 6 months of this guy's time. And it was just, I thought that the life had ended, and this was the bottom.
So how did you get out of that? Because that, like, someone would just go and hang himself.
Pretty much, yeah. But, I'm the kind of guy that I guess I am just strong in some of these situations. I was crying and I was like a baby. But at some moment, I just got myself together. I rehearsed all the rules once again. I went through this whole process, because when you're learning, you must be taking notes. And I had like 100 pages of notes when this guy was teaching me. So I went through this whole thing again. I demo traded for some time, I believe a few weeks. And then I had about 4,000 left in the trading deposit. And I just went back and started trading again and again. And it just slowly started working. And that's how I basically pulled out of it. But it was just huge luck.
It's like very classy, like the lowest with everything, not just like the money, what you could expect from trading, but everything in the life. And then like